Namaste everyone. My hearty pranams. Brings a lot of joy to my heart seeing you all present, meditating together and remaining blissful under the grace and blessings of the hierarchy of masters. Next few days are going to be very intense and transformative. In order to pursue our transformation, one has to know, as Chariji Maharaj used to say, when you are lost on the road while visiting your friend's place and you seek guidance, you phone your friend and say, "Look, I am lost, I don't know where am I, how to come to your place." His first question would be, "Where are you? Do you know where you are? Only then I can guide you." On spiritual path, we did not know where we are, but we have to feel, we have to perceive, we have to experience in depth our present status. And as the status changes, we will be able to appreciate the newer horizons opening in front of our eyes. Then we'll be able to appreciate this shift. And more you are able to sensitize yourself and perceive all these changes, you'll become more appreciative and more transformation will happen. So there is more and more of more and more, you see. This time, the message was shockingly surprising to me. Though we have been talking of A, E, I, O, U and considered that merger was the ultimate state, but somehow the entire thing became very shocking to my heart when Babuji's, wisdoms shown through this message. Earlier, even though he had written that merger is just the beginning, but it didn't hit the chord. How can it be the beginning when it's already considered as the ultimate? Even great Kabir talks about it like that, the raindrops falling in the ocean, merger has happened, they became one and became infinity. But Babuji says this merger is only the beginning, and slowly, over a few days, the whole thing started unfolding with his grace. New understanding came, and we have the message. Please contemplate over it and see how we become what we can become individually so unique. We need not be same as Babuji, we need not be same as Lalaji or Krishna. Each one can play a bigger role, unique role, very specific role individually while merging with the ultimate. The main thing that I wanted to convey many, many years back when I started traveling earlier in 2014 and 15 after Chariji's passing, I visited Bombay, especially Panvel. and I was hammered left and right by our sister Anuradha Bhatia. I said, even after so many years, where are we? No one knows us. When we talk of Sahaj Marg, Heartfulness, Sri Ramchandra Mission, meditation, most people are not familiar with it. Then she brought some PR, public relations, firms to propagate our messages. But deep down, it has always remained in my heart that the real PR can happen only through individuals, not through corporate companies. We all are the products of Sahaj Marg. We are the fruits of their labor. We have to display how shiny we are, how careful we are, how civil and ethical we are in our lifestyle. That will reflect the glory of masters through each one of us. When someone asks, what is the fundamental feature of Sahaj Marg? How would you describe? We have to think over all these things and we have to answer not based on what you know, but what the other person can digest. You cannot give a story of merger to a newcomer and cannot say the message also that what lies beyond merger. That is also a specialty of Sahaj Marg, to go beyond merger, no religion, no philosophy, no spiritual or no darshana has talked about going beyond the merger. So in Sahaj Marg, we talk, not only talk, but we transcend all those states. And we are so fortunate to have such masters. I'm very grateful, especially to two preceptors under whom I was groomed very early in my life, very dear Draupadi Ben and dear brother Rajgopalan. Talking of both, there's a lot to share, a lot to learn, but few things I like to share. Cheerfulness that I saw on her face was very quite envious. Never saw her in trouble or expressing trouble, though the life was full of troubles. Never knew how to read English nor Hindi. Yet she kept the books in her house so that people who wanted to take benefit of those books of Sahaj Marg, she would happily share them. Those who would like to buy, she would happily give them. Same thing at Raja Bhai's house. He had a display of all the books of our mission in a locked closet so that it doesn't get displayed. But if you say, I want this number one book, which is Reality at Dawn, one of his children, Suresh or Samvit or his wife Premaben will pick it up from the stock room and give it to Abhyasi. He always had stocks of books. With most of us later learned, and wherever we went, and I can say always had 10 copies of every book in our meditation hall, at our homes. We sold 5 and we replaced them with 5 more. I'm sharing all this especially for all our preceptors to learn this. Imagine we having 18,000 preceptors in our mission, and every time we sell only 2,000 books or 3,000 books, purchased also by abhyasis. That means hardly 1,000 preceptors are buying books. Is it? Does it convey something to you? If you cannot read, if you cannot encourage others to read, how will you propagate Sahasbag? How will you make this movement known to the world without this fundamental requirement of knowing Alpha and Omega of Sahasbag literature? Please think over this deeply. Every preceptor must have few copies of every publication. Magazines, consider and ask yourself, have you subscribed to magazines? Have you subscribed to all apps which are available? Or do you even know how many apps are available? Do you even know how many books have been released in last year? And you're hoping that we'll become aware of infinity, godliness, when you don't even know what is visible, what is perceptible, what is readable. So I implore, I request all my sisters and brothers, be serious about your progress. Lot depends on so many things. Transmission alone cannot do everything. Master's grace cannot do everything. Because even if the grace descends, without the preparation from our side, it will get deflected. If you read carefully, Truth Eternal, for many years, that was the only book we had. There, Lalaji Maharaj says, without reading and contemplating, often the spiritual experiences go waste. Without reading and contemplating, often the spiritual experiences go waste. This is not the exact quotation, but something like that. So, in short, in one sentence, it describes the importance of reading. He was a great scholar. We can throw away the books only when we have attained. Sahasmarg also talks about knowledge is useless, of course, but it prepares you to a next level.